It is super hot out here. Damn. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you some recovery tips. I figured I'd introduce you to Ellie. Ellie's gonna go recover a little bit right now, hanging out in my buddy Robert Cheek's house. And yeah, this thought just came to mind. I said to myself, recovery becomes a full-time job the longer and longer you go at training. Like, we think we just got to keep going to the gym, but literally the more advanced you become, the more you have to focus 2, 3, 4 times as much on recovery, more so than the training itself. So here are some of my favorite tips. First and foremost, make sure that you are hydrated. As silly as it sounds, we gotta focus on the bottom of the pyramid. Hydration is so important. I'm out here, it's super hot, my lips are a little parched and dry. I know that I need to get properly hydrated before I go for a training session, and I know I should be hydrated all day long. It helps a great deal with recovery. Also at the bottom of the pyramid is sleep. If you're not sleeping enough and you're not getting in quality sleep, it's going to greatly affect your ability to not only train, but your ability to recover. So what I recommend is, one, making sure that you have a set routine and structured schedule around your sleep hygiene. Make sure you get to bed at the same time. Make sure you have a wind down routine that's the same every night. These kinds of things ensure that your circadian rhythm gets acclimated to the time you go to bed and the time that you wake up. So those things are pretty important. I like to wear blue light blocking glasses at night, several hours before I go to bed. I like to turn the blue light off on my phone. I like to go to bed at the same time. I like to also keep the room as dark as possible at night. So things like this really matter in getting good quality sleep and getting enough sleep in. Stress is also at the bottom of the pyramid, and stress management, okay? I'm not suggesting to not stress, like that's not going to happen. We all have goals, we all have our career, we all have our relationships in life, and these things get heavy at times. And in general, we tend to just get stressed out, because that's life. What we can do is manage it. And I find personally that there's no better way to manage our stress levels than by way of mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness by way of meditation works for me. I use an app called Headspace, and I dedicate 10 minutes, just 10 minutes a day, to focusing on my breath and to being aware of my stress, but to not react to it. Just be aware of where I am right here and right now, but to not react to the stress during those 10 minutes of guided or unguided meditation. You could use Headspace, you could use any kind of way that you want to, but just set that time for yourself. And the rest of the time throughout the day, when you could be stressing and reacting to your stress, more likely than not, you'll be less stressed out and not reacting to that stress. All right, there are things that we can do in regards to our nutrition as well. As far as supplementation goes, making sure that we get in a good amount of omega-3s, specifically a high DHA, EPA-based supplement like Testa omega-3s. I can drop a link for those in the description below. The high DHA, EPA, omega-3 supplement creates an anti-inflammatory effect. You want to have it several hours after training or several hours before training, because after training we want an inflammatory response. But we also want to recover from our training. So after we tell our body that it needs to recover, then we create the anti-inflammatory response by way of sleeping, by way of keeping our stress levels at bay, by way of nutrition, okay? The DHA EP supplement will serve that purpose, where it helps us to build muscle tissue and it helps recover muscle tissue. And eating nutrient-dense foods in this day and age where we focus on weight management and body composition management, we tend to not place as much emphasis on eating nutrient-dense foods as we need to. Time and time again, anytime I do not just focus on my macros, but I focus on my micros by getting in fruits and vegetables and trying to fill the calories in throughout the day with as nutrient-dense foods as possible, I recover better. It happens every single time like clockwork. So, hey, in short, eat your veggies. All right, and here's some training tips. Mobility work is crucial. Keeping your bones and your connective tissue and your muscles loose and limber help them recover faster and help you move better in the gym. I recommend dynamic stretching before you train, which are quick 2 to 5 second holds on every muscle. And post-training, I recommend 10 minutes of static stretching, and each stretch should be held for at least 2 minutes. So in other words, 2 to 3 stretches a day on training days or on non-training days. If you can get in 2 to 3 stretching sessions a week, it will make a world of a difference in your ability to recover from training and to just feel better in your body. Deloading is also very important. The more you progress in your training, the more often you should be deloading, because it gives your body a chance to resensitize itself to training. It gives your body a chance to recover from some of the fatigue that we're building up, so you can load in some more and make even more gains. Deloading is as simple as scaling back the intensity on your workout. So in other words, You normally do a set of 100 pounds for 5x5 on any given exercise. You would do it at 70 pounds, and you would go through an entire week worth of your training, repeating the same sets, reps, and exercises, but you would lower the intensity. That's one example of how you can deload and introduce some more recovery so you can get to your next workout and be able to hit your new personal best or PR in the gym in the near future. Getting in an extra day of rest. This one is also underrated, just like nutrient-dense foods. Rest days are the hardest days, and yeah, that statement holds true for many of us once we get into the rhythm and we really enjoy training consistently. But sometimes you need to not train on a scheduled day of training, and you need to rest for an extra day. Auto-regulate like that. Sometimes it's good to just skip a training day for the whole week if it means that that extra day of rest will help you recover. Knowing your body and getting in an extra day of rest here and there, even if it means not going to the gym deliberately, could be the best thing for you. And finally, as silly as it sounds, speaking about extra things, sometimes it helps to just have an extra meal. Have an extra 500 calories. Macros be damned. You know, I'm not telling you to not focus on calorie management and to not focus on hitting your targets, but honestly, sometimes in an overreaching phase, or sometimes if you just haven't been recovering enough, having 1 or 2 extra meals in any given week where you just get in anywhere from 200 to 500 calories can make a difference in your ability to recover, and is probably necessary. I mean, depending on your goals, maybe you want to keep deepening a deficit, you shouldn't do that, but even deficits deserve diet breaks and high days. So getting in extra calories, even if it means you bump your daily caloric average up for that week, being intuitive like that and knowing your body and listening to it with the extra rest, good nutrition, and making sure that you're eating enough to support recovery, these things are important in most cases. Anyway, I would be curious to know what your recovery tips are. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you want us to talk about. I think recovery is one of those things that we don't talk about enough, but it is super duper important, so I hope you found these tips helpful. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you soon.